Alright, so we just finished up a tribes draft here. We're going to take a look at the decks. We'll start with Lobo Boy. Living Sword, already I don't like it. Mining Trolley is a problem. A couple Brash Conscripts, but there are a lot of other human cards. Human Knight, that's not a human. So the Brash Conscripts are really only good when you got a few other human things to go with it. Denouement is a problem. Dwarven Brigade, particularly with no other support, is a problem. Reckless Cannonballer is great. I don't know, this deck is kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different stuff. It's mostly decent stuff. Concealed Dagger is something that shouldn't be played. There's several cards that shouldn't be in the deck. So for me, this is maybe a C+. Old Greg. Alright, so looks like he was going human here, except actually it looks like he maybe completely changed his deck, because that's not a deck. So, Old Greg, my friend, I have to say, this is pretty much the most terrible deck I've ever seen. Although I think I know what you did here. Cool that you pulled an Epic Battle Axe. I wonder if you got that Reconstruct also. Alright, let's see. Wiki. Went with an undead deck. The Horde engine. These aren't zombies though, they're horrors. But that guy's a zombie. That's a zombie. That's a zombie. These are all zombies. These are horrors. He picked up the Dark Spectre, which in this context perhaps makes sense. I kind of like it. I like the spiked bludgeon. Horde engine's kind of slow. I've used it before. It worked to an extent, but I feel like that was more a function of other people having poorly constructed decks rather than it being a great card for this format. Command Creature's just awesome. Kind of like this deck. It's a fun deck. Exchange would have been nice. I saw several exchanges. Doc wants to know if I got anything good. I got a Biblioclasm I was looking for. Oh, so yeah, for Wiki, I'm going to give this a B. It's a B. Alright, Nana 3. So, I'm a fan of the dragon statues. I like Sky Temple of the Guardian. He's got a couple other titans. Probably could have picked up a couple more. Smite the Cowardly is sometimes effective. Pure Soul Cleric is great. The Dragon Scowls are great. I don't like the Tranquility Rod. I really don't like all these Dryads. It's worthless as far as I'm concerned. Although he did get me one time when I had that Invoked Elf. Undead Knight is worthless. Dryad Fawn is worthless. Charge Orb is worthless. So there's some worthless stuff here. For that, I've got to give it a B-. Let's tell Doc I'm recording now. About to give your deck a grade. Let's see what you get, Doc. So, 3 elemental totems and a flame spire dagger, but not a ton of elemental support. There's 6 elemental creatures. So that's kind of an issue. Good in theory, but just not enough elemental creatures. And you're devoting 4 cards here that require elemental creatures, but you've only got 6 of them. So I don't care for that. I like the disables when you're running elementals and you have exchange, because you can play disable on your own elemental creature and then exchange it. I like the Spelled Vial with the exchange. Frightwing is great, of course. Millmore I have mixed feelings about. Reinforce is pretty decent. Disassemble makes sense, especially with these gears that could be useless, so I actually kind of like that in this deck. Fetch, for me, it's just not a great card. I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Maybe I just don't know how to use it right. There's not a lot of powerful stuff here, though. The Fury Stoker is pretty good, but it can be tough to get enough spells in the discard pile for it to be effective. The Clear Thought only goes with the Knowledge Seeker, is that right? Yeah, not a huge fan. I mean, there's some elements of it that's good. So I think I'm kind of torn between a B- or a C+. But since it's Doc and he's so skilled and he puts together such great decks, I'm actually inclined to give him a little bit lower grade. So Doc, I'm going to give you C+. Pretty nice to come in second with a C+ deck. Alright, so that was grading the decks. Hope you guys got some tips out of that for the next time that you draft. Good luck in your drafts.